Today we're checking out more Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 1. Okay, Deep Space Nine Season 1 Episode 4. This is like meditation. We didn't really see anything from her last episode.
An Eltonian brain teaser.
A brain teaser?
A puzzle.
Ooh, a brain teaser puzzle.
I love puzzles.
So
How
do
does it
I.
work?
The goal is to turn the sphere into a solid color.
That's all.
That's all.
Sure, it's harder than it sounds.
Oh, 140 years.
I forgot how old she is.
Yes.
How old is
Just
he?
sit
Like,
comfortably.
young. He seems young.
Cold hands, warm heart.
Concentrate on the sphere. Clear your mind.
Are they gonna have a romance?
Focus and clarity of thought.
I understand completely. What is that exotic scent you're wearing?
Oh,
I think your mind is still a little busy, Julian.
What? So,
wow, he's distracted.
Sorry. Perhaps another time. Maybe you'd like to try again.
Doctor?
He'll get that dinner one day. What is this low? Is it like a synth? There's something very low down here. It's just strings, maybe. Every time I watch this, I'm gonna listen for a new thing. I'm listening to the very bottom, the bass. Bum. Bum. It's like a rumble. Very full on the bottom. That is the most interesting theme.
A lot of new faces.
The wormhole does bring them our way, doesn't it? And I'm sure you've already tried to sell it to a few of them.
It's a good business opportunity.
You decided to ask me to be
Grapevine says Chief O'Brien and the missus are having problems.
Oh my.
I'll never understand the humanoid need to couple.
It's not for everyone.
What could
They're
they be
really
going
having a
on
big
about
argument.
like that anyway?
She doesn't like it here.
She wants to go back to the Enterprise? I wonder how often couples get divorced in the future.
You might as well try to find a drink of water on the Yadozi Desert.
Does everyone want her? She is very beautiful.
She was a he before she got this new body. They were old friends.
Things change.
In her old body, they were old friends. Yes, right.
My dad insisted that we have supper together as a family. He would try out his new recipes on us. He used to call us his test tasters.
Taste testers?
You must miss Curzon, too.
Are a mentor, another father to me.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes our friendships with other species don't survive because of the change.
It won't be that way with us.
It would be hard, maybe. Especially going from a father figure to like a beautiful woman. That's a big difference. If he's attracted to her in any way, it's a huge difference. Ryan's going through it. Are they a good couple? I feel like they fight quite often.
Because I have every right to be here.
I decide who has rights and who doesn't on this promenade.
You better ask your Federation superiors.
They about to throw down?
don't have to check with anyone.
You just started a fight with this guy. Just changed form into a giant muscle man. Ah, yes. What's going on here? How old is your baby now?
I'm willing to ask for a transfer that'll make you happy.
That's not fair either. You'd have to give up your promotion.
He still doesn't have any pips.
Keiko, there's a whole new quadrant on the other side of the wormhole. I'll see to it you get to go.
I don't need favors from you.
There's no botany stuff here for her to do. That does suck.
Just think how much more attractive this place could be if you planted some trees and flowers in the promenade.
It really is kind of ugly. I'm just going to say that. Don't hate me. It's not the most beautiful looking space station. I agree it could use some plants.
Hi. What do you want, human? My name's Jake. I know who you are.
Is that a popsicle?
He used to run black market goods through here to the surface, during gouging his fellow man who needed medical supplies and let a child die when the parents couldn't afford the drug that would have saved her life.
Oh, Frank.
I can get him off my promenade.
If he hasn't done anything wrong, you can't just arbitrarily force him to leave.
Watch me.
This is personal.
But justice is justice.
But who
And as
decides?
long as I'm in charge of
If
security.
you can't work within the rules, I'll find someone who can.
Okay, I forgot. He's security. Got it. He laid down the law again there because he was like, this is my promenade. Actually, ultimately, it's probably not. Oh, her fingers. Ugh. Oh, that freaks me out. Is this the holodeck? Was it him? Was it Odo? Did he just stab him? Oh, commercial break.
What are they? Granion Bolite.
Oh, these two little jokers are up to no good.
Feelings occasionally. It is our wish to live in a higher plane, to try to rise above these kinds of temptations.
Always?
Suggests you don't always succeed.
Julian.
Cisco to Dr. Bashir.
He's trying hard. I think she's gonna cave eventually. Oh, it's like fleas? That sucks. Not a good prank, dum-dums. Oh, whoa. Help us! That's alarming.
The door opened only
Murder.
twice. First time when the computer logged Ibudan's check-in at 1700 hours.
And then who else logged in?
Any evidence of a beam-in during those 13 minutes?
No.
Well, then how did the killer get in?
Is that already here?
The knife was thrust directly between the left and right thoracic vertebrae, perforating the lower ventricle of the heart. The murderer apparently had a decent knowledge of Bajoran anatomy.
Maybe it was in Bajoran.
How many ships have left since yesterday?
A Federation survey ship and a Vulcan science vessel.
I want to see some Vulcans.
That departures will be delayed until further notice.
I mean, we know he didn't like the guy. I don't want to think that he did it, though.
Freedom children have on the Enterprise just won't work on a space station. There are too many ways to get into serious trouble here.
How much bigger is it than the Enterprise? Yeah, they don't have a school? I just assumed they would have a school on a space station more than on a starship. Wow.
I spoke to him yesterday about an hour before it happened, by the Dabo table. It was after his struggle with the shapeshifter. He was afraid that Odo would kill him.
I don't think he did it. I don't know, but it is pretty damning. It looks like it was Odo.
Computer, lights. This was Ibudan's quarters. Feel free to look around.
Not very homey. Very cold.
7 entries noted in personal calendar files.
Show them to me.
Secure departure, Lightfoot drill, lunch, tennis. A lot of tennis. Odo. Just Odo.
We weren't doing anything.
I don't want to talk about this now. It's this Ferengi boy, Nod. Jake won't be having anything more to do with him.
It's his only friend.
There are 12 other children on board, Rain. The problem is there's no structured activity for them.
I agree with her.
You know, I've never actually been a teacher, Commander, but it's something I've always thought about doing.
Good, that's something for her to do.
I think it's a terrific idea. What do you need?
Some space?
We'll find it.
Computers?
You'll have them.
Perfect. Oh, good. I'm happy for her. Okay, good job.
If I hear of you hanging around...
I thought you didn't want to talk about this now.
Not very homey in there. They need some plants.
Well, apart from those of us who were in there after the body was discovered, this was the only DNA present, and we've identified it as Ibudan's.
I have an idea, but...
Unless the murder was committed by someone who could get through the cracks in the door.
Like
Say,
him?
a shapeshifter.
He just implicated himself. Now, they specifically mentioned in his bunk there are 2 bunks, and that only one person was logged. What if there were 2 of them and one of them killed the other one? That's my guess, but it's probably way off.
Major, I have to return to my natural state every 18 hours to regenerate.
Oh.
The killer might have known your regenerative cycle and planned the murder accordingly.
A neat package.
Who might want to frame you for murder?
Yeah, in an effort to frame him, because it looks like him, left Odo on his screen. This is what I think happened. If it is, then I'm good.
See if you can find out if somebody else was using that second bed.
Right.
Send him over there right away.
Maybe.
What do you know of Ferengi education?
Can you employ a work-study approach with apprenticeships in a wide range of business?
My son cannot learn anything from a female human teacher.
I forgot they don't.
Try it for a few weeks.
They don't love females.
Now, really, I'm quite busy. Place your wagers, place your wagers.
Poor Keiko. That was a good approach, though.
Why is he still security chief?
You're right. We gotta talk to Major Kira.
They're just trying to get him out.
But he was no Cardassian collaborator, and he's no killer.
I can't
I
believe
agree.
you're defending.
I don't know him well, though.
You're his worst enemy.
Guess that's the closest thing he has in this world to a friend.
And a defense lawyer. See, even this guy who doesn't like him said he's a good guy and not a murderer.
Security,
But is that actually him? Is that the shapeshifter? You never know when it's him. Can he take the form of people who really exist? I would assume so. And like imitate them? That would be trouble. Da-da-da. Mystery.
We're not saying whether he's innocent or guilty, Commander. All we're saying, isn't it reasonable under the circumstances?
Thank you very much for
Remove
coming.
him. She shut him up. She likes Odo. She's got his back.
He didn't do it.
The man we have in charge of a murder investigation is the prime suspect.
Yeah.
Those people have a right to complain.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
He could have covered his tracks a half a dozen times already if he were guilty.
But the decision stands.
She's really defending him. I think there's going to be a good friendship there.
But when I analyzed the fragments, I detected traces of a complex organic structure.
Translate, Doctor.
Yeah, meaning what?
What the? The complex proteins are breaking down into DNA fragments.
And what does that mean?
It means...
Maybe he cloned himself.
Here.
May I see you in my office, please?
Acknowledged.
About to get demoted. They regenerate it and it turns into the guy who got murdered. Then we'll know.
I am temporarily relieving you of duty. I'm sure the reasons are obvious.
Yeah, he has to understand that.
Who will be taking over the investigation?
I've placed Major Kira and Lieutenant Dax in charge.
Is he confined to quarters?
I don't personally believe that you are responsible for this.
Really?
That's nice of him to say.
So don't tell me there isn't some doubt inside of you, some question about whether or not I murdered the man.
He's mad.
I'll take care of my own best interests.
He tried. Commercial break. He tried to be nice, but yeah, that guy's pissed. What is this? Bandits? Shifter. What the frig? They broke all his equipment.
Quark, think you could use a shapeshifter in your organization?
You had me going.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's growing exponentially. We're going to have to increase the metabolic field energy.
Just what is it that's growing in there?
Aren't those DNA patterns humanoid, Julian?
Growing a human.
Care for lunch?
Sure.
No, thank you. Major Kira's waiting for my report.
Creepy. Like the Matrix.
Has she changed much?
Changed?
Yeah, personality-wise.
Standard Trill integrates the personality of each new host.
But to what degree of their old self goes over, I wonder?
There were these gorgeous 7-foot Ruji twin sisters at Curzon, and he and I...
We get it.
Not drinking snow. I won't drink you this man. Come on.
Everybody leaves. I hope he gets vindicated later when it turns out he didn't do it.
Here's Mommy.
Where you been,
So cute.
I've been getting ready for school tomorrow, honey. Can I come to school?
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
What's this?
Just a little something I replicated on the way over.
Help Mommy to open her present, Molly.
Molly, she's too cute. Oh, a school bell. Adorable.
I better take her home.
They're just yelling murderer at him. He needs to lay low.
Security to the promenade on the double.
Acknowledged.
That was a cool shot and he just came in from underneath, powerful. Alright, what do you got? What the frig?
The crowd followed him from the bar.
I want more security here and I want them armed.
Aye, sir.
Secure all turbo lifts. Slow down the traffic onto the promenade.
Good idea.
Make it so. He needs a catchphrase.
The chromatin pattern's changing.
It's definitely humanoid.
It's definitely humanoid.
Humanoid?
My god. Dax, I think I know what it is.
Hey,
Run a
Sultan!
chromosome analysis.
Big ass humanoid.
We want the shapeshifter. What do you think you're going to do to him if you get to him?
Deserves to die.
You will disperse immediately. Return to your ship.
Whoa, ditto. Whoop-a-roo. Yeah, calm down, everyone. You should shape-shift into a dragon.
A
Come
clone.
on, science. Go science.
That's what Ibadan was working on, creating a clone of himself.
And then he killed the clone to frame me for his murder.
I knew it! I should be an FBI detective.
But certain cloning methods cause a characteristic gene
Ew.
sequence degradation,
That's
which
gross.
can be detected.
It's because of the bunk thing. They pointed it out.
What about Ibudan?
It's the guy, the hooded guy.
I have an idea where to find him.
I knew it. Although it kind of sucks every time I guess something right, people just assume that I've seen it before, but The 2 bugs thing, it got me. Oh, from a chair.
And that you spent the last few years in a prison among Bajoran dissidents for conducting experimental research into triphasic cloning.
Cloning. Is he about to rip off a mask? Oh, he is!
Killing your own clone is still murder.
Interesting, because that happened in TNG and it was not murder. Interesting.
Guess you were right. It isn't going to be easy.
Maybe it's just going to take a little time.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Not next to that human boy. I don't want you to have anything to do with him.
Let them be friends. Oh, good. Oh, good,
Please
good.
come in. My name is Keiko O'Brien. I'll be your teacher.
Adorable. Okay, good.
More about the people and history of this world.
The end. What time signature is this in? Okay. Okay, that was season 1, episode 4, and I think I'm starting to pin down what it is that feels so different about this show. Well, one of the things. I think there's a lot of things that are different about this show than the episodes I've seen of the original series and all of TNG that I've watched. And I think it is that, like, when we're in an episode with those 2 shows, it's, you know, you're on a Federation ship and you're surrounded by nearly all Federation people, and occasionally we have people come aboard that are not the Federation, or we encounter them on the screen. But it doesn't feel like that in this show. I know that DS9 itself is a Federation space station, right? But it feels like this is populated by a lot of different people who aren't part of the Federation. There's a lot of visitors coming and going, a lot more than on the Enterprise. It just feels different in that way to me. I think that's what's kind of standing out to me, especially in this episode. You know, we have kind of outsiders that aren't part of the Federation, like literally gathering into a mob outside of a guy who is the security guy, you know, and he feels unsafe. It's so different in that way that it really stood out to me. It feels like even being in the Federation on this space station isn't necessarily that safe, because there's so many other people on this space station all the time, and some that aren't even loyal to the Federation. It's interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. I think it sets up a lot more opportunity for conflict and for things to go wrong. I could see a lot of potential here, but it definitely does have a very different feel. I feel like we're not in the clubhouse of the Enterprise where everybody's on our team and then we're fighting other people outside of us. It doesn't feel like that on this show. Anyways, that's just what I feel like right now, and we're only in the 4th episode, but that's just kind of a standout thing to me. It's just the feel of it is so different. Even just Keiko trying to make a school and integrate all the different kids from different races all together into one. I mean, that happens on the Enterprise, but they're all in the Federation. They're all Federation kids. Even if, you know, if it's a Klingon kid, like Worf's son, his dad is a Klingon in the Federation though. Like, his loyalty is there, but that's not what is happening on this space station. It's just interesting. And you know, even as something as simple as, like, they're not, even all the Federation guys aren't all wearing the same uniforms. It's very, you know, patchwork. We've brought together a bunch of different kinds of people. It's just so different. I just think it feels so different, but very cool, very different. I'm definitely enjoying getting to know the characters. I want to see a little more from Sisko, if I'm being honest. I feel like, I mean, the first episodes were basically his, but these 2 episodes, I mean, he was there, but it didn't hinge on him, so I do want to see more from him. I'm glad we got to see more from Odo in this episode, but he's still such an enigma. I need to know more about him. He is basically sort of set up as the outlier character of, like, you know, on original series it's Spock, and on TNG it sort of feels like Data. Just sort of the one-offs that are special and can do things other people can't do and see things in a different way. Yeah, I do think Odo is our guy here in this series, but I may be wrong about that. We'll see. But I'm very interested to see where we go from here. It just has such a different feel that it feels like Trek, but it also feels like new and different, even more than the movies. I mean, this just feels very different. So it's going to take some getting used to, but I'm enjoying watching this and getting into it. Next week, we're going to check out one DS9 episode, the next episode, episode 5, and then we're going to watch a TNG episode, which I believe is season 6, episode 12. So that'll be cool to see them, like, back to back. And I've been told, you know, if we're going an air date, that maybe some things might overlap. I'm not sure how much, but we will see. I'll be interested to see if there's any overlap in any way going forward. But yeah, these were interesting. I'm having a good time getting into this new Trek series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time too, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.